Yeah, see? And it's like, it's interesting because the clientele or the customers that I have are like, they're all rich, or like there's rich ones and there's poor ones, right? But it's all the same price. It's like $58. So I smogged like a McLaren, right? It's like $58. And then right after I smogged the Prius and it's like $58. Yeah. But I've met a lot of really interesting people from my smog shop because it's kind of like all strata and demographic of people.
Yeah.
Welcome to the My SGV podcast. Our mission is to capture and share the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley. We believe our diversity is what makes the SGV great. And no matter where you're from in the San Gabriel Valley, you will feel welcome.
All right, SGVers, welcome back to another episode. Thank you for tuning in to the My SGV podcast. We appreciate you spending this time with us. If you're a returning listener, thank you for coming back. And if you're new here, we document and share the stories of the people here in the San Gabriel Valley. So if you're into that kind of thing, please consider subscribing. Well, Scott, it's not news that we are from or we're familiar with Monterey Park, but Monterey Park is sort of like, I don't know, from the 10 freeway to the 60 maybe, right?
Yes, a lot of different places, neighborhoods, yeah.
And you had your office there on Atlantic.
At a couple of different locations, yeah, long term for maybe 20 years or more.
And what would you say is like the heart of Monterey Park? I used to think the heart was like Garvey and Atlantic around there, right? Somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's what I would say. But I actually like some of the outlying areas better. Like, for instance, where I had my second office, which was down, well, it was 2095 South Atlantic. So down near that Ralph's Shopping Center, and then near East LA College.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So that's like the far southern end of Monterey Park.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
But Monterey Park also has like hilly areas.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Did you know Monterey Park was originally built to be a second Beverly Hills?
I heard that, but I don't know the story.
Yeah, I don't know it fully. I should know it because that was my citizenship in the community badge work in Scouts. So, that's where I first learned it. But yeah, it was initially meant to be like that.
Yeah, it's not Beverly Hills, but, I really like it. It's a very nice community.
Yeah. And, so Monterey Park was home for me.
Yeah.
For a long time. I grew up there, went to Inez, played at Barnes Park, went to Mark Keppel High School. And so it has a special place, in my heart.
Oh, mine too, because when I first moved to Southern California or to LA area, it was Monterey Park I moved to and had my office there for, as I said, probably 20 years. I mean, it's just very special to me.
Well, yeah, there's definitely a lot of things to do in Monterey Park. I was just down there having lunch with my childhood friends. And so if you want to find out things in Monterey Park, we're all over the San Gabriel Valley. Don't forget to check out San Gabriel Valley Now, your source for city news, announcements, events, special savings, and everything SGV. Check them out on Instagram, sgv.now, and read their SGV Now magazine on their website, sgvnow.com. We're talking about Monterey Park, and our guest today is from Monterey Park and is involved in the community. His name is Matthew Hoy. He's a small business owner, and he does many other things with the city. So, Matthew, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me. Yeah, I'm really excited to be on.
Yeah, and you came as a referral from a previous guest.
Yeah, Josh from Ligma Provision. So, yeah, that meat is really good. So, shout out to Josh.
So, Matthew, the show is called My SGV Podcast. What's your connection to the San Gabriel Valley?
I actually had a similar background to you. I grew up going to Brightwood Elementary, and then I went to Mark Keppel for high school. So Monterey Park has pretty much been my whole life. So,
okay.
Well, except when I went to college in Berkeley, but then I came back, and then that's pretty much, yeah.
And so Brightwood, for people who don't know, Monterey Park, where is that?
It's actually by ELAC. So it's by your office, your old office. And yeah, it's the elementary school that rivals like Inez. So yeah, we have a similar upbringing.
And for those who don't know, the listener, ELAC is East Los Angeles College. And are they rivals with Inez? I don't know. I thought Repetto was, Repetto is quite close by, but.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like Monterey Park. Everyone that is from Monterey Park would know all the schools we just talked about.
Sure.
Well, you went to Inez.
I did, yeah.
And so you're saying, I didn't know they were our rivals.
Yeah. No, I mean, I heard of them. Actually, while I was at Inez, I felt like the more there's more Japanese who went to Brightwood, and also like I would say more affluent than Inez. Like that area of Monterey Park was more affluent. That's what I thought. Did you ever get that sense?
No, I guess I didn't. I just thought everyone was cool in high school. So
You're from wealth, but you don't know it.
I guess not. Yeah. What happened? Yeah.
So was that was your where you grew up, sort of in that area, and did you stay around there? Like, what was childhood like in Monterey Park?
Oh, okay. So I guess I learned. I'm an only child, so I don't have any siblings. So I didn't really understand what self-awareness was until pretty recently in life. So it was pretty interesting that I was going through life not knowing if I was feeling. I felt a lot of angst, and I think a lot of it is like there's a cultural angst from being Asian American and and I called it our bubble that we lived in. But I think now that we get like once we leave and then we come back, we realize that home wasn't so bad after all. So I think that's something I learned from that journey.
Are you saying that you grew up with a lot of social angst or anxiety?
Yeah, and I think I struggled to make friends like that. I thought I did, but everyone thought I was really social, and so they all thought I was a social butterfly and an extrovert. And I kind of think I am, but I realized I kind of like the introversion time, and finding that balance between the two is really what I now strive to tell others to do. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
So were people telling you like that you're introverted, and then like you sort of like wanted to live that out, but really you weren't?
No, I guess everyone had always thought I was extroverted, but really I was trying to find happiness from outside experiences. And I think if you guys have ever taken the Enneagram test, I'm like a 7. So that's like someone who likes adventures and likes to have experiences and to like live a full life. But so before knowing that happiness comes from the inside, I just thought we were trying to go from experience to experience until I had to slow down. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to extrapolate that into a lot of partying and experimenting.
I guess that was part of it. But in my 20s, that's when, at 23, that's when I started my first business, which was called Fluff Ice. It's still out. It's like a shaved ice truck. We got to take our truck to a lot of festivals, and we did a lot of like really cool events. So I got the experience of being able to like make money at a music festival, like at EDC in Las Vegas. Like, where else did we go? Oh, the Made in America festival. Basically, like all these big scale events. And that's where I kind of fell in love with music, because I got to be at the concert without having to pay, you know, because I had no money. I just had like a lot of my truck. Yeah. So that was like in the 20s, my 20s, that was the stage that I would call working harder. And then now that I'm in my 30s, it's a working smarter phase of my life.
I see. So what were, can we go back to like your
of course.
Growing up in Brightwood in that area? So you're saying that you had a lot of friends, but it was challenging to make friends, or what
I guess I was looking for my identity. I think I was trying to fit in somewhere. And I didn't find that until junior year of high school when I joined Aztec Singers and also did debate. So it was like I was looking for myself. I think a lot of us in this area are like trying to figure out who we are. We needed to find a group that we could fit into. And that was the beginning of it. So
who are you? So you're an only child.
Yeah. What
kind of upbringing did you have? What was that like?
Oh, okay. My mom's, I had a pretty good childhood, actually. My dad he passed away 7 years ago. So that's why I ended up doing the Smog checks, because that was his business. So then I took it over to like keep it going. Let me see. Who am I? Oh yeah, I had a really good upbringing, really fortunate, but I felt like my parents were they didn't do enough, but that was like a bad idea to have, because I felt like as a person who has a lot of pressure on myself, like I wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of pressure?
I guess to make something, like wanting to live a significant life and to really like make meaning in my life.
Your parents were doing that, or you had your own?
I guess we had
self-imposed pressure.
There was a lot of self-imposed pressure, and it was not but we were all doing the best we could with what we knew.
Your parents born here? Grew up here?
No, we were actually, I was born in Hong Kong, and I came to America when I was 2. So, yeah.
And your parents are ethnic?
Oh, they're Chinese, yeah. So I know Cantonese.
They grew up in Hong Kong?
Yeah, that's where
Okay.
they met. Yeah.
So they probably speak English?
They're better at Cantonese, but yeah.
So as you grew up, did you speak Cantonese in your home?
I listened to it a lot, but I didn't know how to speak it. Yeah.
Did I hear you correctly, Matthew? Did you say that you felt like your parents didn't do enough?
Yeah.
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 In terms of support or like being there, or what does
Yeah.
that mean?
Like, I guess I wanted them to be there for, I guess I wanted I guess the struggle is finding my own independence while also wanting them to be there. It's like wanting it all. But that was something I just had to reflect that they were actually really good parents. Yeah.
Your mom, a stay-at-home mom?
No, she was an RN at Garfield Medical Hospital. So she was there for 31 years. So she's the one that taught me about the importance of consistency. Yeah.
Wow. And so did you find identity with singing and debate?
I think that's where I first started to find it. I guess it's because it was a good group of people and we always hung out a lot outside of school, So that was when I first started. I would say those two groups helped to form who I am today. Like someone who enjoys music and someone who I guess likes to talk about things. Yeah.
I see. Then you went to Berkeley.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then you went to Mark Keppel. Oh, you were at Mark Keppel with the debate and the singing. And then you went to Berkeley.
Yeah.
And what did you study there?
I actually majored in political science and Asian American studies, and I did a minor in public policy. Yeah. So I learned that in my textbook, Monterey Park was named Chinese Beverly Hills. I don't know if it was trying to be Beverly Hills. Yeah. So.
Wow. So that's a tie-in to what you were mentioning at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. So did you go to Berkeley because that's where you wanted to go, or was it like your parents wanted you to go to a school like that?
Oh, I guess I learned that you have to like leave your nest or whatever to get to in order to grow. So that was the furthest school that I got into. It was between UCLA and Berkeley. So, yeah.
And then what was it like as a person looking for identity and that going to Berkeley and being out on your own?
Oh, that was so fun. I joined a frat.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in a fraternity. And that was during the time in Cal football when we had all these people going pro, like Aaron Rodgers, Marshawn Lynch, Deshaun Jackson, Javid Best. So we were having great weeks every week and tailgating. And I learned how to study, but also how to party. But I guess the most important thing I learned from college was that I had very strong coping mechanisms, but I have ADHD. So I didn't know that until after college that I had that.
So why did you feel you had to leave to find yourself?
Because I guess I resonated a lot with movies, and so I didn't understand the hero's journey situation before, but I think it's I wanted to be on an adventure, and so it's I wanted to have things to tell people that I was doing, and so I felt like you have to get out of your comfort zone in order to grow, and I wanted to challenge myself like that.
Do you still feel you have to physically leave, put distance between where you are and where you go to learn?
No, I'm. It's a completely opposite part of that now. So I feel like pretty much nothing is impossible anymore. Yeah.
So you're doing something very different, I would imagine, from what you went to school for.
Yeah.
What were your dreams, when you were in school for yourself coming out of school?
I think I wanted to do campaign consulting. So I wanted to help people run their political campaigns. In my public policy program, I also learned that it's important to figure out the solutions for the problems that we are talking about. So I also wanted to do policy work and to help steward resources to the best way that they can. But instead, I didn't want that as a career yet. So right after college, I actually was playing a lot of Call of Duty. So I wanted to work at the studio that made it. So then I just applied for a job in Santa Monica, and then I started as a game tester on Call of Duty. So, but I also had 3 really lofty goals after college. It was to beat Grand Theft Auto 5, get the highest level for Call of Duty, and then to run a marathon.
Wow. Okay.
So I never ran before, and I was probably 50 pounds heavier. So,
did you accomplish all those?
Yeah.
You're
wow.
a grandfather of 5?
No. It's called Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a video game. I was trying to beat 2 video games that I could never that is like, they said it was a good story, but I never could really follow through with it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So your big 3 goals, 2 of them were game related.
Yeah, and one was a marathon.
Okay.
Yeah.
That must have sounded so unusual to you that you
Yeah,
thought-
grandfather of 5.
Yeah.
Wait, Grand Theft Auto, like, so you're to beat it? Is that what that was?
Yeah, it was like to finish it. It was like a weird goal, but I didn't know the power of having interval goals. So like that was the first one because it was like the easiest. And then the other one requires you just to play a lot of Call of Duty hours on end. And then the other one requires you to run a lot. So yeah.
So I don't think I've played games since maybe 99.
Yeah, same. But
But Call of Duty is like it's like a online community, right? Like you play with other people and
Yeah.
on the internet. Okay.
and you just kind of, and it has like the dopamine where you just, after you finish, it's like it's like laser tag. Then you just go back into another game, like another round, and then you just keep going. And so I spent most of my college just playing, like leveling up, getting new guns, whatever. Yeah, just getting really good at it, I guess.
And you said you were ADHD. Did you self-diagnose this? Have you like been diagnosed? Like when did you discover this?
This was probably 25, I think. I think I was 25 or 26, maybe 20. Okay, 20. I think it's like 26. So it's at least a couple years out, and I had started my first business. So, and my friend had given me some medication, and I never taken any before. But when I did, everything just kind of like cleared up, and I was like, well, I'm not slave to the next, basically any shiny thing or stimuli in the environment. I just can focus on the task that I need to do. Go ahead. And then I kind of looked into, at that time, when there's like a lot of mess around you, you don't really know what's the best way to go. But I was like, I had to look at my insurance, like when you know my benefits, like adulting, that's basically the first step. And so I found a doctor, got prescribed, and he confirmed the diagnosis that I had in my mind. And I kind of had started from there, yeah.
What does ADHD stand for?
It's like attention deficit hyperactivity. So as a kid, I actually had a lot of energy, like a ton of energy, like so.
And is the medication, is it Adderall?
Yeah.
So what's crazy, it's like a amphetamine, or it's in that family, but it's like a stimulant.
Yeah.
And you would think
But
that
why
you would not
you take a stimulant?
exactly,
Yeah.
right? But it apparently it hyper focuses, or it allows them to focus.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Did you take one before the show?
Yeah, it's like my daily medication. So
All right, so you're focused.
yeah, I understand what's happening.
Yeah, one of my friends, she often talks about it on social media that she has this also, and that she talks in favor of medication, and that a lot of people are against it, but she says it helps her tremendously. So
You kind of have to have two, like you need coping mechanisms, and you have to kind of be able to turn your stimuli off from the environment in order to like maximize it. But some people try to like just keep going on their phones and be distracted while they're on their medication. So it doesn't work that well.
And so would you describe your behaviors as like constantly seeking a dopamine hit, like just over and over?
Not as much anymore. Not as much anymore. Because I know more of, like, the more that I know who I am as a person, the more I can say no to things that I don't, like, nothing that kind of doesn't help become, like, for me to become a better person, then I'm not really interested in it. Yeah. I guess if it doesn't bring value into my life, I'm not really interested in it.
And then can you talk about did you describe it as a truck? When did that truck happen? And when did you get into the electronic music?
Yes. Fluff Ice. Yeah. Shout out. What up, Nick? Let's see. At 23. So I wanted, one of my dreams was to retire by 30. So that didn't happen, but I wanted to think big. So we had this concept called Fluff Ice, which was a special Taiwanese shaved ice dessert where we flavor our blocks before we shave it. And then it kind of looks like ribbons woven together. And then with a little luck and timing, we found branding, and we also were the first people to bring it to the United States, like as a Pinkberry style. So then it got really popular, and then we were like, and I was doing the marketing and I was doing the marketing for it, but we had a shop in Atlantic Times Square in Monterey Park. And we were like, this is kind of tiring to keep getting people to come to the shop. So why don't we get a truck? So I had to find a truck, or my dad helped me find a truck in San Diego. So we drove down to San Diego And then I had to drive this truck back, and I'd never driven anything that big before, like a box truck. Then I had to find like a person to build it out for us, and then we found a contractor. And there's all like I think I was like 24 at the time, so I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just like praying that everyone is like good enough, like good, you know. And we got our truck, and the rest is history. So.
And it's still operating.
Yeah.
And you say you took it to EDC in Vegas?
Yeah, we got our truck into EDC in Las Vegas, and that was like pretty amazing. It's like selling ice to ravers in Las Vegas. So
I mean, you must make a killing there. It's so hot, and there's so many people. What I mean,
yeah. I was like, if we can't make money at this event, I don't think we should be doing business anymore. You know, and it's kind of the small business hustle. Is like you always want to maximize your profits at like without like at the expense of your long-term health, I guess. You know, because then you're trying to like maximize what you can do at that time. I just learned that time is very important. And so I developed relationships with like the Alhambra School District. So we do a lot of school fundraisers. If you guys ever need a fundraiser, we can do that. And business is good now. Yeah.
Do you return every year to EDC?
No, we haven't done it. I think something happened and we haven't done it for a while, but we do a lot of local events. At the Monterey Park event that I help organize, we'll be like Fluff Ice will be there. Yeah. And I'm not hands-on on it anymore, but I feel like it's my first baby. And whenever I see it, it's always busy. So I go, my first successful baby.
Right. Yeah. Well, Matthew asked each guest to bring an item of significance with them. Yes. What did you bring with you today?
Oh, I brought my tennis racket. So I just started playing tennis about 2 years ago. And when I started again, I didn't one of my customers at my Smog shop, she was trying to sign me up for her league. So I joined, and I was really bad. The people on my team were like a 65-year-old lady and a 72-year-old lady. And the 72-year-old lady was deaf in 1 year. But like the first month, like I was the worst one on the team. So I'm like, I stand for this. So I just kept, I went on YouTube and then started like learning, and then showed up to a local park that I play at now, and just kind of like start grinding it out, I guess. But at first I always thought like maybe it's the equipment that was like the situation. So I guess if it's like your destiny, like the universe or God will give you some like the right tools. So at first when I was playing, when I started playing again, I was using like the rackets from high school. So it's like 20 years old. And then my friend gave me his rackets, which were like newer than my rackets. So I was like, wow, okay, cool equipment upgrade. But then I ended up winning this Instagram contest on my friend's birthday, actually. And it's for this racket that came out like just last year, but it was 6 months ahead. Yeah, 6 months ahead of the release date. So I had a racket from the future. And I couldn't blame the equipment anymore. So it was like, this is the racket that I play with.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy because for a while they used this like it was a heavily marketed racket, but then I guess they kind of slowed down, but it just won the US Open. So it's the same racket that Coco Gauff used to win the US Open.
Oh, and what's the brand?
It's from Head.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called the Head Boom. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
congratulations on winning that.
I didn't win, but yeah, she won. Oh, the racket.
You won it in
I felt like I won the US Open in that
right?
moment. Yeah.
Have you heard the phrase, it's not the arrow, it's the Indian?
Nice. That's a good one. I'm going to write that. I'm going to take that
right.
But, however, most people know that like you can do a better job with the right equipment and better tools.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, whatever. So, Matthew, you mentioned before we got into the racket, this thing that you do with the city of Monterey Park. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's called Electric Park. It's actually happening October 14th. So definitely everyone, you guys should all check it out. Last time, it's our third one. And the first time we had it was last October. And then we had it in March. And it's like an October-March event. But in between the first and second one, that was when the shooting happened in the dance studio. So that March one that we organized was one of the first city events since that time. And it was a good turnout. Everyone, I think it was like a very positive and healing experience. So, and everyone only had good things to say about it.
Is this at Barnes Park?
Yeah.
At Barnes Park on the like baseball field, or where does it take place?
Yeah, it's on the baseball field. So, and then it's kind of like it's very interesting because it's an all ages family friendly event. So it's also like a lot of people attend. And so you'll see people like my mom's age and then little kids like getting down to the drops. And I was like, only in Monterey Park, but it's like, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Wow. So how does that get out to the community, especially like the, let's say the non-English speaking or reading community?
The city, we work with the city. So they handle a lot of the like the execution of it. So they have like all their channels. I think they definitely market it through, everyone can sign up for the emails for the city, you know, and then it's in the Cascades newspaper. There's a whole marketing part, but I also have a boba distribution network for flyers. So I just hit all the boba shops in Monterey Park, and then I drop flyers off. And then, yeah, we have it, 2,000 people came out in March. So
Wow. And it's October 15th this year.
14th. Yeah, Saturday, 4 to 10 p.m. Yeah.
Did you say before that you work with Henry Lowe?
I don't work with him directly, but yeah, I work with the head of Parks and Rec. So, but I know Henry. Yeah, he comes to the event because it's a good event.
And what is that, a weekend or and what are the hours?
Oh, it's Saturday from 4 to 10 p.m. So it's at 10 p.m. you can take your kids home and they had put like all their energy out, and then everyone had a good time. Yeah.
Awesome. Matthew, before we get into the story of your father and I guess the shop, let's take a quick break and we'll come right back.
Thanks.
At Wormuth Law, they believe that just because you speak a foreign language, come from a different culture, or simply don't know how to navigate the legal system, that should not prevent you from compensation from injury or receiving benefits. Their multicultural staff have been helping SGVers like you for over 38 years. Visit law888.com or call them at 626-784-7017 and tell them you heard about them on this podcast.
All right, we're back with Matthew. Matthew, before the break, you were talking about this electronic music festival at Monterey Park, October 14th. I'm sorry, can you say the name again?
Yeah, it's called Electric Park.
Electric Park at Barnes Park.
Yeah.
So definitely go check that out. When we come back from the break, we like to ask a question from these cards. This card deck is called Icebreaker. You can choose to answer it or not, no pressure.
Right.
Just a little fun. It's just a little fun way for the listener to get to know us a little bit better. So here's the question. If you could never work again, how would you spend your time?
I would be traveling at different places around the world. I would be filling up my passport book.
Awesome. Well, you knew right away what you want to do. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. What about you, Scott?
Oh, these questions always baffle me.
What does your heart want? Yeah.
What does my heart want? Yeah. Well, boy, I need to get a heart. Maybe.
Oh.
I don't know what I would do. I mean, I believe I would do what I do now, which is, I read, I work. I mean, I can't imagine not working.
Wow.
So, yeah. And the question was if you never had to work again.
Yes,
but
yes.
I can't imagine not working. So it wouldn't happen.
I just want to spend time with my family, my wife, my kids.
Yeah.
Whatever it is they're doing, if I could do it with them or beside them or alongside them, that's what I would do. Yeah, just to have that time.
But do you think that would be your answer in 30 years?
Hopefully.
Probably with my wife. And actually, if my children wanted to still have a life that included me nearby, like if we were doing something together or if I was just there to support them, I would definitely do that. Yeah.
Yeah. See, my children live in 2 other cities far away. So, I mean, it couldn't be that, but yeah. I don't know. I guess, I know my answer. I would get an apartment in New York City and just live the New York life. That's what I would do.
I read something, or maybe my wife told me something like 95% of the time that you will spend with your kids happens from 0 to 18.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
Wow. And that just like really hit me hard,
Well, think about it. How often do you see your parents? Even
every day.
Oh, you do
I live
every
at
day?
home, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I want to pose a question to our listening audience, and if you're watching this on YouTube, if you could never work again, how would you spend your time? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll possibly read that in a future show. So, Matthew, back to you and your story.
That was good.
You said that your father, he had this shop. Did he take it over? Did he start it up?
I think he started it up. And so it was really interesting because one day he just said, I bought this shop and I'm opening it up. And it's like down the street from where we live. And I think a year later is when I started my business. So he had just had this shop going and he didn't do anything different. He just kind of showed up every day. And then people just kept slowly coming.
So that was late in your childhood or
It was like
early
2015.
adulthood?
Yeah. This is 2015.
Your
Sorry,
father bought it
2010.
in 2015?
He started I think it was probably an empty space, and then it was but it's in like a auto garage with other businesses.
So what did he do before that?
He worked at a Smog check business.
Oh,
Yeah, when
so
he came
that
to
was-
America, he learned how to do it, and then that's how like he kind of used it as his career.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your father, he bought it. He didn't do so much to it. He just sort of showed up. People started coming back.
He didn't do like marketing. He did things that like I thought were important, like getting the word out or telling the story of the thing. But I guess I didn't realize that I'm really good at just selling things. So I didn't know, but he did things very opposite, which was like the person he was the character. And so everyone that's how his business grew, like organically. And yeah.
Oh, he had a real
personality. Like he
flamboyant.
was very kind. He was very kind, like gentle, kind person.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah. So he was like a really good listener, like, like a really nice person. So yeah.
People wanted to be around him.
Yeah.
And felt good.
Yeah. But then he got pancreatic cancer. So it was like very sad. Yeah. It was a tough battle, but he passed away in 2016. So it's about 7 years. Yeah.
Oh, so not soon after he got the business. Not that long.
About
after.
5 years or so. So I think that was like his dream. His dream was like he wanted to work too, but he didn't really want to work on anybody's terms. So he just, yeah.
Wow. And how did you and your family learn of the news that he had cancer?
I think he just like something started hurting inside. And then but he was kind of like a proud person. So he didn't really want to say anything until it got like too much. And then he got it checked out. And then, he learned it's cancer. So my guess, as I reflect back on it, I really think that like stress really will induce a lot of cancer. So I guess from what I've learned is try to live a stress-free life, and I think it's been good so far. So yeah.
Did you observe that your father was always under a lot of stress?
No, just only toward the end. I think there was an accident that happened with a car, and so he was really afraid that that person would come after our house or something. Like a lot of self stress to not worry other people. And I had my business at the time, so I felt like I was too busy to really understand what's going on. So,
Wow.
But I think everyone did the best they could with what they had. So, yeah.
And pancreatic cancer is one of those with like a really low survival rate. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I just learned. Yeah, my pastor's dad passed away from it too recently. So,
wow.
Yeah,
I think it's like 4% or something.
Yeah.
Really low. Yeah. I don't think they treat it, right? Like they don't.
I don't think they have a cure yet. Yeah.
Yeah. So your dad passes, and then the business is just sort of there. And
he didn't pass. Well, he didn't pass suddenly, right? So I was helping him. I was not working at Fluff Ice anymore, and then I was helping him with the Smog checks. And it turned out that the way that they just updated the Smog check program when I was helping him, so it became really easy for cars that were year 2000 and above. And then so it was kind of all these cars were year 2000 and above, and it cut the time from maybe 20 to 30 minutes maybe to 5 to 10 minutes. So it gave me, and then I think in that season of my life, I was really, time was the most important thing that I wanted. So I was I needed time to be there. So
do you go there every day?
Yeah, I'm going to go there right now.
Yeah.
To go to work.
But you have a manager?
Oh, no. It's actually just me. So
it's only you. Okay.
Yeah. It's just me. But it's interesting because about 2 years ago, I just started an appointment system so people can book online for what times. And then because I'm on this podcast, I just blocked off the time. And then, allowed to have these buffers in my life to, yeah, I actually feel like I'm mostly retired, but I have to stay at my shop.
Wow. So you can control your day pretty much. You can block out times.
Yeah. So.
And you can just live the life you want, huh?
Yeah, and I live at home because it's just my mom. Right? I'm an only child, so someone has to take care of her, or we take care of each other. So it's nice. Yeah.
So when Russell asked that question, if you could retire, what kind of life would you live? Or if you never had to work?
Yeah.
So that's the life you live right now.
Yeah. But I would also travel, or at least have the freedom to go. Yeah.
Are you guys a test-only center?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, even better.
Yeah. So people ask me if I do other things, and I go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just do Smog checks." they only have one, like niching into that industry was like
wow,
it was really interesting.
I should buy a smog test center.
I think so.
Do you know why it's separated?
No.
So that the smog centers are responsible for the certification can't also like mess with and say, oh, you need all these repairs.
Like there's a repair. There's smog check stations that can do tests only, and then there's test and repair. But sometimes people don't trust the repair stations because they're like they failed it, and they're like, oh, you need like this thing to repair.
Yeah.
And it becomes from like a $50 bill to like a $150 bill or something. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the state did that, and so when you get it from the DMV, it'll say smog test only center.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I
Protect
learned
the consumer, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know because I drive a Tesla.
Yeah. See, and it's like it's interesting because the clientele or the customers that I have are like they're all rich, or like there's rich ones and there's poor ones, right? But it's all the same price. It's like $58. So I smogged like a McLaren, right? It's like $58, and then right after I smogged the Prius, and then it's like $58. Yeah, but I've met a lot of really interesting people from my smog shop because it's kind of like all strata and demographic of people. Yeah.
A McLaren.
Yeah. Up the hill.
Was it Jay Leno?
No, it was like it's like Josh's neighbor or something. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Okay. Well, are there still people trying to like do illegal smog? Because
yeah. Someone just came up to me, like drove by the other day and said, "Hey, I do illegal smogs," and I was like, I wanted to tell him like, "Hey, man, don't like if you get caught, you go to jail."
Wait, somebody approached you to say
that they do it, and then I was like, I don't know, man. It doesn't sound like a good idea for you to come up to a random shop to be like, "Oh, do you know anyone that needs one?"
Right.
Yeah. I like.
So what is it? I'm curious. Like, what's involved in doing an illegal smog?
It's pretty easy if you know what to do. You have to have the right devices. So you have to like find a device that can like clone the identity of the car's computer that you're trying to like
that's easy.
Well, no. I'm just saying it's easy with the right device, but the device obviously you can then prove intent if you try to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like why would you have this device that can clone different cars?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a case. It's like you need a device to have a case. So
A device is for sale? Like someone can just go buy this? Or
AliExpress.com.
You know a lot of information.
What's the phone number?
I don't know that one. I just wanted to know how much it was. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's like quite an expensive investment.
Oh, it's expensive.
Yeah. It's a couple $1,000s. Yeah. So that means definitely they're trying to do something, illegal. It's not like, oh, I accidentally smogged the wrong car. It's like you're trying to do it.
But people I've heard are charging like $400 or $500 for what is $50-$60.
I guess, why would they do that?
I guess the value add for me is like I don't really I just try to help people figure out what's going on with their car when they come.
I'm saying the illegal smogs people are charging that much.
Yeah, and you have to find someone. But yeah, I don't.
The illegal ones.
The illegal ones. Yeah.
Yeah, but why can they charge that much? The legal one is 50
or 58. Let's say 58.
Yeah, for me, yeah.
And the legal ones, let's say 500.
Oh, because people have a belief that their car won't pass. But they don't understand their car, like how their car works.
Or the actual repair
would be more than
exceeds that.
500.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
And so sometimes you can't sell private party if it has like a check engine that won't go away, stuff like that. The days of like just unplugging the battery and resetting the check engine is over. Like you can't do that kind of stuff. So.
Well, you can, but then if it comes back on, it means that there's a problem, and then you have to diagnose it.
You have a hard fault. Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to diagnose the problem. Yeah. Sometimes most of the problems is like they have to change their catalytic converter, and they're like, no, I'd rather just get an illegal smog. So,
like, wow. Just the culture of cars is so different, and I know nothing about cars. And
same.
You too?
Yeah.
Well, but there's this whole culture and what cars mean to people.
Yeah.
I
guess my smog check business is really interesting because I have a very intimate. I feel like I get an intimate peek into all my customers' lives.
Really?
Because I have to get access to their car, so I know what kind of like environment or life.
See, you can't peek into my life.
What do you get from that? Like location or like how hard they drive? Like what do you get from that?
Like if you see a camping pass sticker, right, then they went to a concert.
Okay.
If like the car's kind of messy, maybe they have a lot going on in their life.
Oh,
yeah.
But I was going to say you can't peek into my life because I drive a Tesla, but Tesla peeks into my life.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
So
they already got you.
They know more than you do.
They know where you go, how long you spend there.
They know what I do in
fast
my
you
car.
drive.
They know my conversations. They know everything, right?
Isn't that up for conversation for like police, right? Can police access that? Can
Right.
We want to know this information, where this person was. Like,
yeah. Do they have to turn that over? I and maybe some companies, would voluntarily do that. Yeah.
In high school, I drove a, I don't know if you're familiar with cars. I had
a little bit.
86 Corolla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like initial D.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And so it had a 3-inch piping straight underneath headers, knocked out catalytic converter. So it needed like a fake Smog. I don't remember how I got that, but yeah. You need there was no way it was going to pass with no cat. Yeah, but you did that for speed, right? And so,
wow.
Yeah.
I remember I was like 16, 17, and I got my first car, but my brother bought it for me. I knew nothing about cars, and he knew all about cars, and so he asked me, okay, I'll help you buy a car. What kind of car do you want? I said, okay, give me a car that I could drive to a shareholders board meeting and not feel embarrassed. That's actually what I said.
Really?
Yes.
What did he get?
Oh, he didn't get me a car that I could drive to a board meeting and not get embarrassed. But I think he got me I don't even remember. I think it was a Toyota. No, it was I think it was a Honda. I think it was a Honda. Yeah, I don't remember actually.
The Del Sol.
A Datsun.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, but they made the Z at first, so they made the 240.
Yeah, no, I had a B210.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, it was like it's bottom of the line. Believe me.
Our conversation has sort of devolved into cars and stuff. But well, what kind of car do you have now? And
it's a Nissan Altima hybrid.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Does it get great mileage?
I think I'm gonna just drive that car until I get a new one. But that was I think I got it right out after graduating college. So, here's a tip. If you have a hybrid car, remember your battery will die at some point. So, big battery. Yeah.
And how much is that?
A hybrid.
Also the Tesla, but any lithium ion.
But maybe in 10 years.
Yeah. Try to stretch it out. I guess with the technology of batteries, it'll be cheaper. But initially, when my battery died and I was quoted, it was about $10,000 to change it. So I didn't anticipate that in the purchase. So
wow.
When I bought it in 2009, but
oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I did find someone to replace it for about $1,200 like 2 years ago. So it'll last about 10 years or so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, while we have you here, Matthew, what are some of the cars that are terrible at smogging and
terrible at smogging?
Used cars, I guess. Older models.
Oh, I guess the most interesting thing I've learned is that car diagnostic technology has actually been about the same since about 1996 to 2000. So even now, it's just computers, but it's the same it's the same diagnostics. So really, if you just look at your check engine light and make sure it's not on, I think that's just what I look at. I'm not really sure. I don't really kind of notice what cars are not passing, I guess.
Awesome. Well, Matthew, you definitely have a ton of energy, and it's I like it. I like it. It's interesting. It seems like you have a lot of passion for what you're doing. But we're going to move on to a final segment of the show where we learn a little bit more about you and what you like in the San Gabriel Valley.
Oh, fun.
So Matt, tell us about your SGV3.
Oh, okay. I have these notes. I wrote down. Okay. My favorite place for self-care is called Harmony Spa. It's in Monterey Park. They have a hot stone massage that you can get. It's like about $57 for an hour, and you get a private room. So
Harmony Spa.
Yeah.
Where is that located?
It's on Garvey, so it's close to Barnes Park. Oh, I guess the theme of the SGV top 3 is like high value, high reward. So
basically places that are meaningful
for me,
to you.
Yeah. Like then that's my theme. I was thinking, what are the 3 commonalities? Yeah.
Right.
So it's like things that are like balling on a budget.
And
I guess
how often do you get a massage at Harmony?
Maybe like once a quarter, but I just went on Monday, so that's why it became one of the top 3.
Okay.
Yeah, just everything that I think anything I could have been worried about was already melting away.
Okay, so when you get a massage for an hour, do you sleep or do you talk?
No, I definitely don't talk. Most of the time, I know that the lady that's working on me is like working really hard because I can feel elbows and stuff, and then I can hear her like. So I try not to like engage too much unless she's talking to me.
You like deep tissue, soft tissue?
Yeah, deep tissue. I also play tennis, and I guess I really like serving, so my back is kind of tight. Yeah. I also recently got into pickleball. So, yeah, which is the second part of my top 3. But
okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's go on to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the second top part is for community. The best place to go if you play pickleball is Barnes Park. So I just recently started last week.
So how many courts do they have?
I think somewhere like between 6 to 8. But there's always like there's a cool paddle queuing system. So it kind of feels like you're going to play random people all the time. And I guess since I came from a tennis background, I learned I'm pretty good at pickleball. And then the last one is my favorite family event, free family event. And that's Electric Park. So I definitely think you guys should check it out. So that's my
awesome
SGV top 3.
Thanks for sharing that. To go back to the pickleball thing, yesterday I came across a research study on prolonged longevity and sports being played. And all these sports had like increase of 2 years, 3 something, 4.5 or whatever. And the greatest increase in longevity came from racket sports.
Really?
I think 12 something years.
Wow.
And the person was explaining that it's not because of the hand-eye coordination and the movement. It is the socialization aspect. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, that's interesting, right? Like table tennis, pickleball, tennis.
I definitely know. I think tennis is I guess I learned I play tennis for me, but I play pickleball for the ladies. So yeah.
What?
It's like for the community. Yeah. Because there's not as much talking when you play tennis. Yeah.
Oh, so I've never played pickleball. I'm sort of interested in it though.
Yeah. I just brought my friend on Monday, and it was like his first time, and he played badminton maybe. But it turned out he wasn't that bad. So he's actually pretty good. So he just showed up.
Is it just easier than tennis? Because it's like...
Oh, yeah. It's like tennis on easy mode because the ball, like, to me, is slower. In tennis, I like dodging fast, like, shots or, like, hitting them back. So when they're hitting a plastic ball at you, I just go, oh, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. I think I got to check it out.
Yeah, someone was like, oh, you can turn pro next month. Or, like, next week. Someone was like, you can turn pro next week or something. So I was like, what? Yeah.
Well, Matthew, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your story with us and our audience. Your event is, again, October 14th at Barnes Park. And where's your shop located?
It's in Monterey Pass Road. It's 705 Monterey Pass Road, Suite C. And it's by the industrial area. And it's across the street from the Monterey Park Firehouse.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on the show, Matthew. Really appreciate you spending this time with us.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. There's another episode for you. Thank you for spending this time and learning about another story from right here in the San Gabriel Valley. If you like this kind of content, please like, share, and subscribe. Drop us a comment. You can find the full back catalog of episodes on our website, mysgv.net. And until next week, we'll see you then.
Thank you for joining us on the My SGV podcast. Check out more of our content on our website, mysgv.net. This show was produced by Russell Mono and edited by Victoria Allers of Kind Monster Productions. If you'd like to join us next week as we capture and share more stories from our diverse community, feel welcome.
Nice mother. No, kind mother.